husband started a sink load, as you would say. And then I finished up the big pile of dishes. We've kind of just been washing them enough for what we need for each meal or whatever, but it's definitely needs to be done, so that's what we're doing today. I read a little post that said, like, the Bible says, come as you are, not when you're, like, perfect, and I feel like that definitely resonated with me today, and every day, I guess, because I feel like even starting this channel, I was hesitant because it's like, well, we don't have a finished house. And my family's been telling me, you should do one, like, I don't know, almost 5 years ago is when I first started watching cleaning motivations to help me through depression and just like moving to new areas and not having a lot of friends set up. It made me feel less alone in like motherhood and stuff. Kingston, the dog. But I always felt like it wasn't enough. My life's like too chaotic and messy, and maybe it wasn't always the right timing, I guess. And then my sister-in-law said she was going to start a cleaning video, and she has 3 kids, and her situation right now, she's been trying to save up and get a house and stuff, and I don't know, it just inspired me. And one of the channels I specifically watch is Fearfully Created. I think I was looking up like budget-friendly makeovers for our last house because we're always on a strict budget and it seems like we're always fixing something. But I stayed because of her testimony and her faith and her humbleness. Like it inspired me. I believe God put us all here together for a reason. So why not share our stories? And if at the least it's not necessarily out here helping people or I don't get a bunch of views or subscribers, at least like my family, we can look back and see the progress we've made and the hard work we've put in, I guess. But enjoy. I hope you get some motivation today.
Smallest piece that we need when we're broken or lost. The moments that just passed us by, when we go blinded by what makes us die. Could be vague, just a blink of a moment, and it's gone. We keep falling down until we start to tear. Wipe out all your tears. When words die, when we're falling apart, hold your hand when my heart is. Get me high. myself about to give up, but I won't. When the world falls away and you feel caught, I'll be there. When nothing really seems to move us forward, hold on. You feel alone by yourself, about to give up, but I won't. We keep falling down until we start to tear, but we can still be strong. So wipe out all your tears. When words die, when we're falling apart, hold your hand when my heart is. Get me high. When we fight all the time, just show me where home is. When words die, when we're falling apart, hold your hand when my heart is. Get me high. When we fight all the time, just show me where home is. Show me where home is. Show me where home is. When words die, get me high. When we fight all the time, just show me where home is.
The song that was just playing definitely like resonates with me sometimes. Show me where home is. We've moved a lot. Like I don't even know how many apartments. I want to say it was like 6 or 7 before we got our first house. But it seems like every couple years we kind of moved, just because our family was either growing or our jobs or something. Always kind of catapulted the move. And we planned like our first house to be our forever home, and it was close to family and stuff. But Chad's job that he had was like draining his soul. He was not happy. He was working at a factory. And he did a lot of security positions before that. And that's kind of where he's stayed with his like comfort level. But it just felt like we were making the mortgage payment, and I was doing a lot with my oldest daughter. And he was on second shift because of the shift premium. It like helped. But we just felt like he was gonna be stuck there forever because none of the jobs that he actually wanted to do would pay enough to really keep our lifestyle where it was. And we didn't want to go back to renting or anything. We always were worried if he did something, change his position or stop doing the overtime, that we wouldn't be able to like keep the house or something. So I went through like a big spiritual change. I started going to like this MOPS group, and not that I grew up Christian, but I kind of went away from it for a while. I went through a lot of like rebellious in my last year of high school into like cause school, and I was going through a lot of pain and stuff. So I was just like, well, why would God let me go through all this pain? But ultimately, like I look back now and just like everything got me to where I am now and who I'm with now, and I'm thankful for it. And I know like God works through things. And sometimes it's things that make you feel uncomfortable, but you grow through it and you learn from it, and he always gives you better than what you even really asked for or how you asked for it. So, yeah, Chad was talking about wanting to go, he always thought working for DNR would be really cool. So he went and he did the testing. He had to like do so many like push-ups. He had to run a mile in a certain time. Like he did all this training, and he has always been like a runner. He actually went to a police academy for a small town where he grew up. It was like a police reserves, but he ended up just not feeling like that's what he was supposed to be doing. So I don't know. He's kind of like a jack of all trades. He's done a lot, and he's like 8 years older than me. But I feel like he's lived so many different lives. Like, it's wild. So that's what made us move to our second home. And selling our first was he got a job. He applied for the state parks around our area, so like we wouldn't have to move. But he applied to a lot of different parks all over the state of Michigan. That's where we're from. And the park that he got called to was Warren Dunes State Park, which I grew up in Ludington, Michigan, which is right on Lake Michigan. And it's like a beautiful beach, small little beach town, harbor town. And he grew up in more mid-Michigan, like country life. And I always said I wanted to move back towards the water. Like, I loved just growing up right by the water. And so Warren Dunes was like a beautiful area. It's like southern Michigan. We both were newer to the area, but we really liked like South Haven. We vacationed there a few times, but the housing market is wild because you get a lot of people from Chicago that have summer homes there and stuff. So it's like very pricey. So we sold our house thinking that we would be like upgrading at this point because we had a second kid. Like, Veda was 3 months old when we moved, and we had to live in an apartment complex for that summer while he got adjusted in his job. And it was tough going from a house back to an apartment. And as many apartments we lived in, we didn't live in a lot of like apartment complexes. Like, our apartments always had some type of privacy. So it felt like a lot, and I felt very tested at that time through my faith, and we just kept praying, and we got denied for a mortgage. And so we were like, well, what do we do? What we ended up selling the house for from the work that we put into it and stuff, and it sold so fast. That's why we had to do the apartment. We ended up making $30,000 off of the house after we paid off our mortgage. And so it was either put that away, rent for another year, and hopefully save up enough to get a mortgage. But the job he had, they lay them off in the wintertime for short periods of time. So that was one of the reasons we couldn't get a mortgage. And we didn't know that going into all this. And I'm glad we didn't, because maybe we wouldn't have moved, and yeah, he'd still be unhappy and we'd be stuck not in a mortgage. But so we took the $30,000. Some of our family like told us that we were like crazy for buying a very like rehab fixer-upper home. But we wanted to be able to have like half that budget to put into the home. So we ended up finding a house for $16,000. It was in a really cute town that was like 15 minutes from his job and from the beach. But it was like a rougher street, I guess. There was a lot of houses that had just been like abandoned. But the town was really good, and the school system was really good. So that ultimately swayed our decision. Yeah, and we fixed that up for 2.5 years. And we made really good friends. I do hair out of my house. So some of the people from the church we started going to, I started doing hair for, and some of the teachers at Vivian's school, and it felt like home. I still miss it sometimes. I still miss our first house and being around family and stuff too. But I know God wanted us there because of the connections and the things and the way he made us mortgage free without even knowing we wanted to be mortgage free, because it lifted up a burden with me and my husband about him working and just feeling like stuck. Now, it wasn't easy. The house was abandoned for like, I think 5 to 7 years is what we got a ballpark. Like, some of our neighbors would say longer, and then I don't know, I think we like looked it up online and it seemed more like 5. But anyway, it was a lot of work, plumbing, electric, all of that, which Chad worked at like a heating and cooling company with his grandpa, and his other grandpa like taught him a lot with that kind of stuff. And my family, my uncles helped with like plumbing with our last house, putting in a big tub and stuff. Yeah, so, and we supplemented with like pantry food at times. We would go and pick up free marketplace items, and so we resourced a lot, and we budgeted a lot, and that house taught us a lot. And we were further away from family. We were like 2 hours away from family, so we had ourselves to rely on a lot of the time, and I think it brought us together like closer as a family unit. And we knew the size of the house wasn't, the size of the yard was amazing, and like I said, a couple of our neighbors were amazing. They felt like family. Then there was a couple neighbors that were just like problem neighbors. Like, they seemed like they were into drugs. There was like another neighbor that called the cops on everybody in the neighborhood all the time. So those kind of things were keeping us like, okay, well, we want property and we want privacy, but we wanted to be in that area. And we asked like our church and our church friends and family to like pray over us, like where we're supposed to be. By the time we got the house up for sale and sold, it was going to be one of the situations of like, well, whatever we make from it, we have to pay off our debts that we use, like credit cards, to help get the house where it needed to be to sell. So we paid off all of that. I had a arm like skin removal surgery. I paid that off. And then we were left with what we had to find what we wanted. And when it came that time, there was like none of the houses that we had liked in Michigan were available. And so we started looking outside of Michigan in different states and stuff. And that's when we found this house in northern Maine, actually 2 houses. And we thought, well, excuse me, if we put our work into it, the second house we could always have for family when family comes out to visit, or friends and stuff. And that would kind of help supplement people visiting, not having to pay for a place to stay and having space, and maybe rent it out or something. But we got here and the roof of the big house was really bad, and it was in a lot of repair, needing a lot of repair. So we ended up living in the first house the first year, and we fixed that up on the inside best we could. And then I got pregnant with Conrad, so we were like, okay, big house, definitely need to get that going. And then Chad's family was coming out to visit like the fall, so we worked on it all winter or summer. He did the roof himself, and then we did a lot of the inside, making the layout better and stuff. And then we moved in and have been fixing it up all winter. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We have a lot of work that needs to be done to both houses, but we're just trying to do it within budget, so we're not like racking up a bunch of debt. So yeah. The outside of the house needs a lot of repair, just like fixing up. I believe these 2 houses were abandoned for like 10 years. The guy that lived here had passed away, and his 2 daughters just kind of owned it. I think they put it up for sale, and it had been up for sale for a couple years, but Chad contacted some realtor out here to come check it out, and they did a walkthrough, and her husband actually fixed up houses and stuff on the side, and so they were able to give us like a really good walkthrough by telling us like what really needed work and what didn't, what looked worse than what it was, and what actually needed stuff. But yeah, so that was a wild adventure to move out here and like not know what we were getting into necessarily. Like we definitely were following God and praying that he would guide us where we needed to be. And we've had like so many things happen that were like, yep, thank you God. And people that we've met, it's just like I could go on, and maybe I will in another video, but yeah, I know we were supposed to be here these last couple years. I don't know if this is where we're supposed to be forever. There's been a lot going on in our personal lives, just kind of little feelings of like nudges, maybe that we need to be somewhere else, but I don't know. I also like get worried, like, oh, is it like every couple of years, is that just gonna be like our thing? Like I do want a forever home, but and I definitely take into consideration my kids because they are getting older and stuff too, and they love it here. We also like thought we would be at a point where we could visit back home more often, but the winters here and heating, we don't really have enough wood on our property to like support us on our own for heating. So buying wood is very expensive, and the electric bills are crazy for supplementing that. And I just don't know if long term, with all of what we still need to do to the house, if it'll be where we'll be able to visit family and stuff like we had planned. So I don't know. But as for now, we're going to keep working on the house and doing what we need to, and praying, and asking God to like put it in our hearts what we need to do as well.
Something on my mind, finally not afraid to say it. I know it took some time, used to read it in a press release, what I was going through. But I got stories too. The fear of being last, everybody knows when you don't. If every feeling passed, then why am I still stuck with this one? I should see it through and change my point of view. I try to catch it when the moment's over. I try to fill up though it's pouring over, 'cause I have reached a point where nothing matters, and I'm signing off this open letter. I go down in blue, and that will be on you. Now what is going on? The answers are right here reflected. Still you get it wrong, 'cause you heard everyone's but my
이제 그만 날 피하지 마 그 분명한 말도 안 돼 나를 봐봐 널 위해 많이 고민했어 고른 멜로디 이 노래 듣고 네가 좋아해줬으면 좋겠다 나를 봐봐 I think about you every day 꿈을 꿔봤자 하늘에 소리 질러봐 힘을 내줘 이렇게 힘을 내줘 어디로 갔는지 몰라도 우리 함께 alright 손을 잡아 힘을 내줘 내 곁에서라면 그대 늘 바랬던 It's my life 너와 꿈을 향해 이 노래 부를게 I'm okay, I'm okay 넌 괜찮아, 괜찮아 다 이겨낼걸 무서울 게 없잖아 Why don't know that 이제 그만 숨지 마 고개를 들어 나를 봐주길 바래 우리는 언제나 영원해 나를 봐봐 I think about you every day 꿈을 꿔봤자 하늘에 소리 질러봐 힘을 내줘 이렇게 힘을 내줘 어디로 갔는지 몰라도 우리 함께 alright 손을 잡아 힘을 내줘 내 곁에서라면 그대 늘 바랬던 It's my life 너와 꿈을 향해 이 노래를 부를게 이토록 아름다운 곳 우리는 힘을 합쳐 이곳을 함께 지켜 tonight yeah. 여기 내 손을 잡아 너의 꿈을 안을게 이제 나 이렇게 우리 함께 힘이 돼줄게 네가 어디 있건 간에 내가 힘이 돼줄게 이제 내 손을 잡아
So I'm finishing up the island and going to head into the dining room and living room. After this, I couldn't find the vacuum, so I swept a bunch of like the big chunks and stuff on the floor. And then I found the vacuum. I thought I recorded, but I actually recorded in between when I wasn't doing anything and like the screen was blank. So I have like a bunch of blank video. But I did vacuum. Conrad was getting very, very upset by the end of it. He wanted some cuddles, so I was kind of running around frantic trying to finish up the cleaning because I do have some hair appointments tomorrow. So I'm trying to get the house cleaned for that. I still have to clean the salon room and the foyer. So I'll probably do that tomorrow before my appointment. Maybe get that recorded for you guys. But yes, he liked his vanilla wafers. And it was like shortly after that where he was like, nope, I'm not okay anymore. So that is mom life, but it feels good to have the house cleaned. We just got done grocery shopping, so I might upload a little haul for that. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the cleaning motivation, and I hope you have a blessed day.
just a blink of a moment, and it's gone. We keep falling down until we start to tear, but we can still be strong. So wipe out all your tears. When words die, when we're falling apart, hold your hand when my heart is. Get me high. When we fight all the time, just show me we're homie. When words die, when we're falling apart, hold your hand when my heart is. Get me high. When we fight all the time, just show me we're homies. Show me we're homies. When words die, get me high. You feel alone by yourself, about to give up, but I won't